Welcome to the Golf Shop TV. My name is Jeff Harrison, my partner.
I'm sorry,
What?
You're so short there.
Hey, this is, we're out in nature, man. I mean, we're out on the golf course.
Okay.
Let's try that again. Good morning. Welcome to this episode of the Golf Shop TV. I'm Jeff Harrison.
I'm Amy Anderson.
Hey, I'm so giddy because today is Thursday morning. It's the beginning of, it's tournament week. It's a tournament day of the week. But you know what? It's the U.S. Open.
Huge day. I love the U.S. Open. I love this time of year. I can't wait to just be a couch potato.
Well, it's pretty cool. But before we get started, there are a couple things, and I heard this on the radio this morning. I'd almost forgotten. Today is Flag Day.
Oh, okay.
So today here locally in our area, in the Palm Desert area, the guy who did the Marilyn Monroe statue that's down in Palm Springs? Well, he also did commissioned. Remember the sailor kissing the nurse?
Okay.
Okay. Well, now that's today. That's at Palm Springs Museum. So he did both of those.
Okay.
He's down there, and they're having a big ceremony, flag ceremony. Do you know how many flags there were since the beginning of the United States? How many flags we've had?
You mean with the stars
Yeah,
changing?
like how many different flags have we had? The reason I ask is because they're doing a ceremony down there today.
Right. Well, the original one probably had 13, so 50 minus 13, I don't know, 37?
How many different flags? We've had 8 different flags in our history.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think that was pretty neat. So, from the original Betsy Ross till now,
Nice.
Was it Prince who did that? No, I don't know. But anyway, so there's 8 down there. So we just want to, honor the, the fact it's Flag Day and wish everybody the best. But all right, well, let's, walking out here on the golf course today, you can kind of tell how it's kind of summer out here because we start seeing a change of grass. What do we do this time of year that, it's frustrating, but it must be done?
Well, they're starting to punch the green so that the summer grass, the Bermuda, comes in nicely.
Yeah, as golfers, it's like, I'm going to tee it up. The golf course looks great. The weather's perfect. Get on the green. It's like, there's holes all over.
Yeah, but it heals so fast around here. I mean, in 2 weeks, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, the whole idea of that is they punch those holes in the ground because it heats up the soil. So then the Bermuda invades what is left, if there's any left, of the winter ryegrass, and it just takes over. And then from that point on, the greens are fabulous.
Yeah, but it's been nice weather, and it's going to be a cool weekend, just 100.
Yeah, for us out here, that's pretty nice because, next week I know it's just going to get pretty hot. But speaking of hot, let's talk about what happened or what's happening this week in just a little up the road. We have a 2-hour flight up the road.
Well, before we get there, shouldn't we talk about last weekend, kind of wrap up there?
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Because it was a great weekend of golf. Dustin Johnson made a comeback.
Welcome back, Dustin Johnson.
Oh, unbelievable watching him play.
Here's a guy that, he's been on for what, like 12, 13 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. Comes back. There's another one of those guys that, they've been out and then they come back and they win.
Yeah, and I think he's a contender this weekend as well.
I would almost go that, but history doesn't show that the guy who wins the week before the U.S. Open typically wins the Open. It's not unwritten, but it's unheard of, but it does happen.
Anyways, but congratulations to him. Davis Love did well last weekend.
Yeah, our Ryder Cup captain. I mean, that's pretty cool to see DL3 playing well, and a lot of good names.
Yeah, Rory did okay until he kind of that snap hook.
I didn't see this about Rory last night, but he was throwing out the first pitch for the Giants game. I said, did you happen to see it?
He's not a baseball player.
I'm just curious. I saw him getting tips on how to throw, but who he's getting tips from?
Who?
McDowell was teaching him how to throw the ball. I'm like, wait a second.
Another baseball player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they play a lot of baseball in their homeland.
Too funny.
So
anyways,
cool.
Yeah. And Tom Lehman last weekend won on the seniors tour.
That guy's tough competitor.
Yep.
Just keeps on winning, keeps on grinding. He said this last year he's worked harder than he's ever worked in the off season, and mainly it was about physical fitness because that's what it is anymore. It's about physical fitness. It's not like these guys have to learn their golf game again. It's really kind of taking that body and saying, hey, it'll still perform like a 35 or 40-year-old and grind it out and be there through the end. I'm real happy.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
it was really
Tom.
fun to watch him. And then on the ladies, Stacy Lewis.
Oh, I thought Michelle Wee won.
Oh, don't even bring up her
sorry.
name. What, 6 cuts in a row or something?
Oh, man.
But you know what? She's not the story. Jennifer Johnson, who's from town here, she went to Desert Christian. She used to practice at Bermuda Dunes. I mean, she's starting to be pretty hot.
I think that's great. You know, it's always cool to see a local. Like, you know, we just had this big boxing thing with Manny Pacquiao and Bradley here locally, and you know, he's from Cathedral City, and you know, he beat Manny Pacquiao. I know it was kind of a controversial thing, but you know, he still won, and that's pretty exciting. So it's good to see Jennifer Johnson, another local gal, do really, really well.
It is.
Now, wait a second. Okay, now you don't want to go down that Michelle Wee Road, but I mean, come on. What is the deal there? Here's a gal with just, have we underestimated it? We always think, or I always think, hey, she's got all this talent. Why is she not winning? Am I misreading this?
You know, and I wonder, you give these young kids these endorsements when they really haven't done anything. I mean, she didn't do tons. It's not like she was winning tournaments at a young age, but she got all these endorsements. I mean, does she lose her kind of drive? I don't know. She's got the talent. She can't putt. Putting's pretty simple. You've seen my nephew putt.
Yeah.
You know, you just roll it in the hole, right?
That's it. You just knock it in there. Maybe that's what it is. She needs to hang around like a 8 or 9 year old for a couple.
Yeah,
of
maybe
weeks.
she grew up too quick.
That could be it. I mean, you know, there's so much on the line. I guess, you know, we've all played for a few bucks, and you know, you're playing for that money game, and it's like that putt's worth, you know, $10. Well, you know, it's worth like, she's got millions of dollars on the line with her endorsements, and I wish her the best. I don't ever say, you know, I bring her up just because, well, let's face it. I mean, you know,
She has what? Has she made a cut this year? Her scoring average is what, 77? Hello.
it's brutal. You know, that's an encouragement if somebody's thinking, hey, I'm going to turn on. same thing to see the green. It was a long ways away.
It is, but like Phil said, Phil Mickelson, you know, my buddy, he said once you figure out the distance on that hole, what club to hit, you hit that same club on all the other par threes. So.
Oh, interesting.
Anyways,
well,
yeah.
Phil's kind of a mathematician. He knocks it out. But yeah, that's a great hole. Another one is kind of interesting that got a few folks talking. I think it was just purely yardage, and I heard Michael Allen talking about it yesterday in his press interview in the press tent, talking about 16.
Yeah.
It's like 670-yard par 5. And
uphill slightly.
Well, you know, they said it was interesting. You said uphill, but he said you know, it plays downwind, and you know, it forces you to shape the shot. And when I'm thinking shape the shot, I'm thinking I'm just going to hit it as hard as I can. But you know, they're talking like it's not going to play that long.
Interesting. Now you don't want to miss the fairway there. They're saying that has some of the longest rough on the course.
Interesting. Well, they did say the goal there, you know, was it the PGA Tour said the goal there was to make it a true 3-shot par 5 because number 17. Tell us about number 17.
Well, number 17 is actually in '98 that played as a par 4. I think it's 520 yards.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was, you know, it doesn't look like that tough of a hole.
But you know, they did something different there because that golf course, you're right, that particular hole is definitely everybody could go for it, but they put a bunker on that one in front of the green.
They did, and holding that green, remember we went there and we were dropping balls. If you hit slightly to the right, it releases off into those trees and then you're in no man's land.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has a drop off of about probably 20 feet.
Yeah.
20 feet, and the green, everything slopes towards that drop off. So if that pin's tucked on the right, now Willie talked about this, if the pin's tucked on the right and you hit it just a couple of feet past the hole, make sure you got your caddy close because you're going to have a sand wedge to get back on the green if you can navigate the trees. It's scary.
Yeah.
So it's really a go for risk reward hole.
And what I remember about the course, remember you had to hit a draw on certain holes to stay in the fairway, but then the fairway broke to the right. It was ridiculous.
It's like when I was younger, dating yes meant no, no meant no. No, that's not, didn't work. But yeah, it was the opposite. You had to really shape the ball, and it's like you're always shaping it against the slope of the hill.
You know, and they say it's a shot maker's course, and that brings up Bubba Watson. You know, here's a guy who can work the ball right and can work the ball left. But personally, I think he's almost too emotional to play that course because he gets really bummed out when he has those big numbers. And I think sometimes going into a U.S. Open, especially like this, you have to say, okay, I'm going to get those. I'm going to get some birdies, but I'm going to get those kind of terrible holes as well. So I don't know about Bubba. I wouldn't put my money on him this week.
Yeah, speaking of that, you know, I'm going to throw you a little on the bus here. Tell me how, first of all, give me your win, place, and show for the week.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. They said of the last, or of all the U.S. Open winners at Olympic Club, it's always been a very religious person.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which made me, earlier when I was looking at, you know, the different players, I was thinking about Badley. And I was thinking, okay, here's a guy with the right mindset for a U.S. Open. He's got a good short game. He's long enough. And so I would have put him in there, maybe as a dark horse. But I'm going to pick him because he is religious.
No kidding. Interesting.
You know?
Okay. All right.
I think Phil's going to be right up there. I want to say Phil's had 6 second-place finishes in U.S. Opens. I think this will be his 7th.
Wow. Okay. So, who you think is going to be up there as well?
I think it's going to be Duffner.
Really?
Just because he has the mindset. Once again, he's very patient. He doesn't get flustered. He drives me crazy because he doesn't smile or anything, but I think that's the kind of player that does well at Opens.
Huh, interesting. I'm surprised now. I'm surprised you didn't even mention Tiger.
No, I think these fairways are going to give him a run for his money.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think he's quite figured out with this new swing yet how to hit off those. You know what? People are going to be calling and ripping on me, but I'm not going to pick Tiger.
I think when Tiger wins, what kind of hat you got to? Okay, yeah, I'm going to kind of go with some staples here. I'm going to pick Tiger Woods. I think his last win, just how long? 2 weeks ago. Very, very impressive. I mean, it reminded me almost of the Tiger of old, where it's just very like bang, 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 and it looks good. I saw him rolling some putts early this morning. I wasn't physically there, obviously, but I saw on TV. Every time he hit it, no matter where, you know, he was knocking it in. So that was good. I think that's a good mental diet. I think Zach Johnson.
Okay.
You know, Zach Johnson has some serious game there. He's kind of on a roll. Boy, my last one must be, and I'm gonna go way out there, and I'm gonna say DL3.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think it's gonna be fun. So
I like it. One thing they were saying about Zach Johnson is no one with a strong grip except for Lee Trevino's ever won at Open.
Geez, there you are with the sticks. Statistics. I got no chance here. I'm going for emotional. You know, I'm liking these guys. Okay. Well, so that's kind of our wrap up. Any other thoughts on the U.S. Open?
Well, I want to talk about Michael Allen now. He's the oldest player.
53 years old.
And he's been playing or been a member at Olympic Club since 14.
Yeah.
Or since age 14.
Yeah.
Now, who else is age 14?
Oh, Andy Zhang.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a kid. Wow, how cool is that? Have you seen him swing?
I have not.
Man, I'll tell you what, that and, you know, he's a rock star. The mentality is so different. You know, you hear him interview on TV. He's excited. He's a 14-year-old kid, and you know some of the stories you hear about him. And like, I can play with anybody on this sheet. Yeah, I want to play with Bubba Watson. This whole locker's my. I think that's pretty cool. But when you see him swing, it's like he steps into a different element. I mean, it's spooky good. I think it's going to be exciting that he plays. It'll be a story headline. If Saturday morning he's still in the game. I think that's really cool. It's a lot of golf course.
It is.
Think about when you're 14. I mean, you're playing in one of the biggest stages in the world. I don't care who you're, tennis, it doesn't matter. You're playing one of the biggest sporting events in the world.
Crazy to even think about.
I'm having a hard time just taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So
we got to talk too about some of these European players. I mean, we talked a little bit about Westwood. What about Luke Donald and Rory McIlroy?
Yeah, you know, I apologize. I kind of blasted past that because I really like where Lee Westwood is right now. You know, how can you bet against Luke Donald? He's one of the best ball strikers on the planet right now. He's just steady, and the guy can flat putt.
Yeah, he's a little bit shorter off the tee. I think his average is around 270, 273. But now that all of a sudden, I mean, short game's what it takes at this course, so.
Yeah. You got to hit those greens, because if you miss those greens, if you remember, I mean, if you miss it, it's like you're landing on these tabletop greens when we played them, because again, they were fairly new greens. Those, they were pretty firm, so it'll be interesting to see. Because Michael Allen was talking about backing things up, but Rory McIlroy, what are you thinking there? I mean, what's going to happen?
He definitely could be a repeat winner, definitely. But he's so hot and cold. I'm not sure what to think.
Yeah.
You know, he's practiced, and I think he's ready for this course. It just depends what Rory shows up.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't want to rush the show, but I want to see him tee off at 7:30. Any other thoughts?
No, I think that kind of covers what we wanted to talk about at the Open.
What a great week we have of golf. I can't wait to see how it all turns out. I hope you enjoy the tournament. Watch for us. Get out there and enjoy. You know, salute a flag today. Today's Flag Day, June 14th. You know, again, if you're in the desert of Southern California, please come out and check out Marrakesh Country Club. It's a great golf course. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about. You know, our business we do on the outside, it's our budding business. It's called My City Business Review. And what we do out there, gang, is we actually go out and interview businesses. And it's not a commercial. It's an opportunity for you as a business owner to tell your story. And it's really small businesses. And the reception has been very good. And we take these and put them on our website. And it kind of helps in many ways, Amy. Talk about video when it comes to advertising or marketing your product.
Well, last time when you're looking at magazine ads, it doesn't really tell you too much about the business. Video kind of lets you get to know the owner or what the business is like, so it makes it more personalized.
Yeah. Stories have been the funnest thing, hearing the stories that the people have and why they started a business, how it got started, and you know, it's a lot of fun. So check us out there. It's called mycitybusinessreview.com. In the meantime, catch us every week at DaGolfShopTV.com and also at swingpointmedia.tv, and we'll see you in a week after the U.S. Open. Who knows? We might have a little special report. Who knows? All right. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff Harrison, my partner.
I'm Amy Anderson.
Have a great week.